Hello there and welcome to the Midday News with me, Sabina Izuku. The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Atahiru Jega, has rescheduled the 2015 general elections date to March 28th and April 11th, following advice from the security chiefs in the country. Jega said the electoral body is ready to go ahead with the polls, but the Boko Haram insurgency in the country necessitated the postponement. He said the presidential and the National Assembly elections, billed for February 14th, will now hold on March 28th, while the governorship and the State House of Assembly elections will hold on the 11th of April. He added that the 6 weeks window will also help the electoral body perfect the strategies towards a peaceful, free and fair elections.
No matter the extent of INEC's preparedness, therefore, if the security of personnel, voters, election observers, and election materials cannot be guaranteed, the life of innocent young men and women, as well as prospects for free, fair, credible, and peaceful elections, would be greatly jeopardized. Consequently, the Commission has decided to reschedule the 2015 general elections thus. The national elections, i.e. Presidential and National Assembly, are now to hold on March 28, 2015, while the state elections, Governorship and State Assembly, are to hold on April 11, 2015. It should be noted that this rescheduling falls within the constitutional framework for the conduct of the elections, notably Section 76, subsection 2, Section 116, subsection 2, Section 132, subsection 2, and Section 178, subsection 2. See also Section 25 of the Electoral Act 2010 as amended. For the avoidance of doubt, we will under no circumstances as a commission approve an arrangement that is not in line with the provisions of our laws. Our hope is that with this rescheduling, the security services will do their best to ensure that the security environment needed for safe and peaceful conduct of the 2015 elections is rapidly put in place.
The People's Democratic Party has hailed INEC's decision to postpone the elections. The party's campaign organization said in a statement issued in Abuja that it was in its national interest. Although INEC cited security reasons, spokesman for the campaign team Femi Kayode says it shows the commission was not fully prepared. The PDP claims, as at February 7th, only 34% of eligible voters had collected their permanent voters' cards and accused the All Progressive Congress of being insensitive to the flight. Also, the opposition party was bent on putting the country on the path of chaos by insisting on the elections on the February 14th. Away from that, the national chairman of the All Progressive Congress, Chief John Odige Oyegun, has described the shift in the days of the elections as a setback for democracy. Oyegun said in a statement that the commission claims that it did this because the security agencies claimed they needed time to fight the insurgencies in the northeast region of the country. He described the decision as a major setback for Nigeria's democracy and added the party is having an emergency session to study its implications and will inform Nigerians of its decisions in the next few days. He also urged members of the party to remain calm and desist from violence or provocation in any activity that will compound the already unfortunate development. He assured all Nigerians that the party will not abandon its commitment to change and will sustain the struggle to establish a new Nigeria. And away from that, the former governor of Ogun State, Gbenga Daniel, says he is pleased with the decision of the Independent National Electoral Commission to postpone the general elections. Daniel, while speaking at the inauguration of the Senatorial, Federal, State and Wards Committee and presentation of vehicles and electric bicycles to them to campaign for the re-elections of President Goodluck Jonathan, urged all coordinators and each level to perform their duties well. He also says though the primaries of the party in the state were not in tandem with its principal, all stakeholders must work for the party. In her remarks, his former deputy, Salman Badru, called for support for the president's re-election.
God has given us a little bit of time to now do what we have to do. Now that we have recognized senatorial, federal constituency, state constituency, ward coordinators, it is now time for you to go and prove your mettle, to go and do what you have to do from ward to ward, from polling booth to polling booth.
You all have a role to play, and that has been my own plea since after the unification rally, that every hand must be on deck, that everybody must be given the opportunity to also prove themselves and add value to the success of the president's election.
The People's Democratic Party has described the criticism of the All Progressive Congress on President Goodluck Jonathan's achievement in the railway sector as laughable. The party insists that only railway hikes in present-day Nigeria was perpetrated by Rotimi Amechi, the APC governor. In a statement released in Abuja, the PDP campaign team said the attack showed that President Goodluck Jonathan has completely overwhelmed the IPC with the quality of his achievements in rail and other sectors of the economy. Spokesman for the campaign organization, Femi Fani-Kayode, noted until Jonathan's intervention, the railways had been in a poor state since the 1980s. They said rather than question the railway achievements of President Goodluck Jonathan, APC should explain why rail projects in Rivers State and Lagos State have failed to take off in spite of billions of naira expenditure. And away from that, turning attention to Imo State, where the Nigerian police force and other security agencies in Imo received shock over the weekend following failure by politicians to attend a peace meeting ahead of the 2015 general elections. The meeting was meant to be an interactive session between stakeholders in the forthcoming general elections. Ajibade Awufesho has the rest of the story.
Behind me is the Imo State Police Command Officers Mess. Seated in there are top-ranking officers of the Nigerian police, together with other security agencies and stakeholders in the forthcoming elections, to deliberate and map out strategies that will ensure the success of the forthcoming elections.
At about 10 a.m., the exact time the meeting was meant to hold, heads of security agencies and the state and INEC Residential Electoral Commissioner in Imo and his officials were already inside, waiting for the political parties and their flag bearers. The waiting game, however, continues as the politicians, who are the major reasons for the gathering, never bothered to show up. Their patience appears to have been tested enough when at 12:30 p.m. the obviously furious security experts and INEC officials storm out of the venue of the meeting. The Imo State Commissioner of Police, Abdul Majid Ali's reaction says it all.
We are very serious about this, and it seems the party are not organized, because what we intend to discuss today is much paramount, very important, that all the parties should have fully, not the chairman, present. We sent invitation to all the actors, the senators, those who contested for the office of the Senate, House of Reps, as well as gubernatorial candidates. But surprisingly, the chairman of the party, if those people are not around, the chairman of the party should have been in the presence of for this.
This, however, has not dampened the resolve of the police and other security agencies in the state to maintain maximum security for the elections.
All the security agents that will be present will participate in the election proper. However, that will deter us to tell you what we intend to tell you. That will deter us to tell you that the security agencies are fully prepared for this election. We are fully prepared and want to sound a note of warning that on the day of election, all the security agents attached to the principal, that is, anybody, any officer, any policeman attached to you or your candidate will not be allowed to move closer to any polling unit. Will not allow any security, private security outfit to man any polling unit. All the security agencies have been deployed accordingly by name to all the various the existing polling units we have in the state. And also to warn, we are going to enforce total restriction of movement. Total restriction of movement. Nobody will be allowed to move after voting from one unit to the other. You have to move after voting back to your respective houses, or you remain there if you want to remain at least 300 meters away from the polling unit.
The State Police Command also revealed that there was no apology for the politicians regarding the development. Ajibade Awofeso, CoreTV News, Owerri.
Away from that, the battle for the collection of the permanent voters card in Lagos has continued with its attendant difficulties. Despite the public holiday declared on Friday by the Lagos government to ease collection of voters cards, complaint dominated polling units visited by CoreTV News on Saturday. Some residents say they have visited the polling units on a number of times without success, while others who were able to see their names on the list could not collect their voters cards.
Be stubborn, I'll be suffering. This is about not 5 years of age. I'll be stubborn and suffering, nothing given to me. Still that I'm still on it. It's still with my hand, but they will not answer my request.
They say that it's not available. Even at Alausa, St. Peter's, they said I've been there 3 good times. It's not available. Even the lady that is handling it at Alausa gave me her number. Since I've been calling her, she keep on promising me till today. This is making 3 times here and the 3 times at Alausa.
I've been coming here for over 3 days now. I've been coming here. They asked me to come back, but today I'm finally here. I've given them my temporary voters card. I wanted to collect my PVC. They are telling me that they have seen it, but I haven't collected it now.
Away from that, the former Vice-Chancellor of the University of Ibadan, Ayobanjo, says while the picture on who will emerge the next president of the country is still unclear, politicians should desist from trading statements depicting violence. He advised whoever emerges winner of the presidential pool to make eradication of corruption a top priority and admonished Nigerians to vote for the right leaders.
In a situation that we are in, the level of lack of education and lack of poverty, people are going to vote for those who are likely to increase their own income one way or the other. I don't think we can avoid that. Nobody is going to say, I believe in such and such ideology, whether I gain or lose by it, this is the best thing for the country. People are going to ask themselves, what's in it for me? What am I going to get out of this? And this is the way that they are going to vote. It's unfortunate. It is not an ideal setting for this kind of democracy. But we've got to grow and bring the country to a level in which democracy properly can be practiced.
If you're just joining us, you're watching the Midday News. We'll just take a short break, and when we're in turn, we'll bring you more stories. Do stay with us.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digi 360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
Welcome back to the news. If you're just joining us, you're watching the Midday News. And for more information, you can reach us on a social media platform, and that's on facebook.com/CoreTV News and on Twitter @CoreTV News NG. On our YouTube, youtube.com/CoreTV space and the news. The governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party in Osun State, Iola Omishere, has called on the National Judicial Council to approve the activities of Justice Elizabeth Ikpejimi-led Election Petition Tribunal, which dismissed as a petition against Governor Raphael Gboshala on Friday. The call came as the petitioner's reaction to the dismissal of his petition, which the three-man panel unanimously agreed could not be proved beyond reasonable doubt. Omishere, who said this in a statement on Saturday by his media aide Victor Oriola, said he would appeal the judgment. He described the dismissal of his petition by the panel as a transversity of justice. The allegations of corruption came as a surprise to many because one of the counsels to the petitioner, Nasli Oke, had commended the panel while closing his case. And away from that to Kwara State, the police command in Kwara State has arrested a truck conveying ammunition at Kosubosu, a border town in Batulten, the local government area of the state. The vehicle with number plate Lagos XU110BDG was believed to be coming from Burkina Faso and on its way to Ibadan. The police operators of the Kosubosu Divisional Police Headquarters arrested the driver with another occupant of the vehicle. A police source told NAN on Saturday that the ammunition, which comprised several cartons of cartridges, were hidden in the truck. Commissioner of Police in the state, Salihu Gaba, confirmed the incident. The police public relations officer Ajayi Okansomi said the police were carrying out further investigations into the matter. Meanwhile, the chairman of the council, Mala Mohammed Omar Bayo, described the incident as sad, especially at the time that the elections were approaching. And away from that, the former staff of the Nigerian paper mill in Jeba in Kwara State have staged a protest against what they tagged non-payment of their full entitlements by the Bureau of Public Service in the last 13 years. The protesters lament their total neglect in this report by Rashid.
The dream of every worker is to retire to a well-deserved rest with all the necessary financial benefits. The reverse seems to be the case at the Nigerian paper mill industry in Jeba, Kwara State. The mostly aged protesters carried placards with various inscriptions complaining of being shortchanged in the payment of their entitlements.
What we are suffering, we are there in every mill every day. We are dying. Our children cannot go to school. Our children have become drawers of water and hewers of wood. We cannot in position to train them. Even we that are father, to even eat at home is problem. You understand? Life has become one continual battle for survival. It is not easy for us to even survive. Many of, like in those days, we are like 3,000. But today now, that has reduced to less than 1,000 because of naked suffering. We battle with survival, we suffer every minute.
Of pathetic note is Simon Akman, a blind retiree who relives his agonies.
Nigerian paper mill, as the problem come in, I suffer a lot. My wife died. My children, my daughter died. Nothing with me. I have nothing to hold on. Now, the sickness will come hit me. Nobody to help me up till now. The government should arise and make and give us help. We need help. As a citizen of Nigeria, we are suffering more than as we are.
The protesters called on the federal government to intervene in their case in order to forestall further deaths among its ranks, which has reduced to little over 1,000 from about 3,000. Rashid, CoreTV News, Jeba.
We'll just take another break, and when we return this time, we'll take you on a flight to Ukraine and Russia. Just stay with us.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
Welcome back. And outside Nigeria, U.S. Vice President Joe Biden launched a passionate plea to Russian President Vladimir Putin to show by his actions that he desires peace in Ukraine. While he did not directly say that Washington would provide arms to Kiev, Biden insisted Ukraine had the right to defend itself from pro-Russian separatists waging war in the east. He says the U.S. will continue to provide Ukraine with security assistance, not to encourage war, but allow Ukraine to defend itself.
We must judge the existing agreement next and any future agreement with Russia by the actions Russia takes on the ground, not by the paper they sign. And given Russia's recent history, we need to judge it by its deeds, not its words. Don't tell us, show us, President Putin. Too many times President Putin has promised peace and delivered tanks, troops, and weapons.
And in 289 words, the Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov voiced optimism that a plan being worked on by Moscow, Berlin, and Paris could bring a possible end to the Ukraine conflict. He made a statement at Munich Security Conference where he met a series of world leaders to discuss the latest peace initiative on Ukraine. Lavrov says as the peace talks continues, he believes there is every possibility of reaching a result and agree the recommendations that will allow the sides to really untie this knot of a conflict. He confirms Russia's readiness to guarantee a fresh peace plan based on the Minsk, a call signed by Kiev, the Russian-backed rebels, and Moscow in September, but which has so far failed to halt the fighting. Lavrov also took the opportunity to rehearse a litany of long-standing Russian grievances against the West, which he charged has supported reactionary forces in Kiev against Ukraine. Best interest. He added that the United States and the European Union have taken steps to escalate Ukraine's crisis at every turn. And that wraps up the midday news. Do join us at the top of the hour for more. For me and the news crew, we say many thanks. I am Sabana Izoku, and thank you very much indeed for watching.